What's up, chess player, and welcome to the Journey to Grandmaster. And as you can see, I'm completely blindfolded today because today's video is all about having fun. I'm gonna play against Andrea Botez, and let's see who is gonna be stronger. So I'm playing white. I'm gonna go ahead and try to destroy my opponent from the very beginning, so d4. And f6, so we are gonna have some King's Indian. I mean, I hope so, because that's gonna be a nice game. So knight f3. g6. I'm gonna play g3, chat on my bishop, and yeah, let's see what Andrea has to do. Bishop g2. So far we are playing symmetrically, but we are playing white, so we have one tempo more. We are gonna have the initiative, and that's exactly what I need. Castles as well. Now d6 should follow. Exactly. So now I play b3, and that is the starting position of my favorite variation. By the way, I have played this exact one against Fabiano Caruana at the World Chess Championship. So if you haven't seen it, definitely take a look. You're going to learn so much out of it. c6, bishop b2, because, well, black wants to play e5. That is the idea, of course. So bishop is perfectly placed on b2. Let's see, bishop f5. Yeah, so that is, by the way, the idea Fabiano played against me as well, because knight e4 is coming, but I'm gonna go ahead and play c4 because nothing stops me from executing my plan. a5. Yeah, so black generally wants to somehow create some pressure on the queen side, maybe play a4, try to, you know, create a weakness in my camp. So here I have a choice between the moves d5 and knight to c3, and both have some advantages and disadvantages. But normally when you play d5, they go to a5 with a knight and then try to attack, because, well, there is knight b4, but I'm gonna have a3. Yes, that's by the way a legitimate variation, because knight c2 is not that great over there. So let me play d5. Let me be as aggressive as possible. Yes, Andrea goes for it. Knight c2 is, of course, yeah, quite a threat winning an exchange. But I'm noticing now that I can just play knight to d4, which is not only securing the square on c2, knight c2 is never possible now, but also it's attacking the bishop on f5, so it seems to be quite unpleasant. I mean, c5 is not available for black, because I'm going to take en passant. So let me play knight d4, the most aggressive move. Knight h5. Okay, so I was anticipating some knight's move, because black wants to pin the knight on d4. Now I cannot take on f5, because my bishop on b2 is hanging, but knight h5 is quite a weird choice. Why wouldn't you play knight e4? Although maybe I'm gonna play f3 and e4, that was the problem. Okay, so now I can... Well, knight c3 probably is possible, but then bishop takes d4, queen takes d4, knight c2 fork is, yeah, pretty annoying. I was hoping for some checkmate, but knight on c3 is not allowing me to do that. And as far as my queen concerned, I have to go back, and then I'm just losing an exchange. Still not that bad, because this dark square's bishop on g7 is the most important piece for black. So if they exchange it even for a rook, it's not really that clear. But I don't want to sacrifice, to be honest, when I don't need to. So what happens if I play a3? Now bishop d4 is not possible, queen takes d4. It's going to be a checkmate threat in one. And otherwise the knight has to go back to e6, although it's going to come back to c5, so there are some drawbacks. But yeah, once I protect the bishop on b2, the bishop on f5 is going to be in trouble. Maybe I don't play a3, because I don't want black's knight to be improved via a6 to c5, so let me just go ahead and play queen to d2. I want just to protect my bishop on b2, so now knight takes f5 is very annoying, and she still can't play bishop takes d4, because after queen takes d4 I'm threatening checkmate. Bishop c2, so that's a very weird move. I mean, my queen is on d2, so it's not under attack. What the bishop is doing there, it's not clear. Also, it's taking away the square. Well, I understand that probably knight takes c2 is a bad idea, because after bishop b2 my rook is hanging, knight takes b4, bishop takes a1, and I'm just in exchange down, but I don't understand the point of this move at all. Okay, so now knight c3 is a completely possible move. Bishop takes, queen takes, and there is no knight c2. There is c5, but I just take on c6, and even if knight takes back, I can take with the bishop, then go ahead and play knight d5, and the threats seems to be incredible. Although black has some e5 opportunities. Yeah, let's go knight c3. I mean, development is the key in the opening, so let's develop as many pieces as fast as possible and as active as possible. Bishop d3. Okay, something very weird going on the board. I begin to feel crazy because why on earth would you do that? So the idea is if I take the bishop, bishop takes d4 would follow, but I'm still having a pair of bishops. I mean, what can be bad about that? Yeah, my bishop on g2 is not the best piece on the board. Okay, so now my knight is hanging. I have to do something about it. I can play knight b5, because c6 is still not such a great option, right? I have quite a lot of attacks there. Otherwise, the knight might be, yeah, not that great on b5, but let's do it. It's the most active move I can see from here. So knight c to b5. Bishop c2. So black is going back and forth. I mean, never move your piece twice in a row without a very good reason. And never move your piece 3 times in a row without a very, very good reason, because that's never going to be that great for you. Okay, so now my bishop on b2 is once again unprotected. Maybe it's time to play a3. Like, what's going to happen with all of those pieces? Yeah, let me play a3 and let's see what's going to happen. Bishop takes d4. Wow. But now I just take it with my... Wait a second, I can actually take it just back with a knight, let's say, and then, yeah, black's pieces just fall apart. But actually, queen takes d4 threatens checkmate in 1 with queen to h8. The knight on b4 is going to be lost no matter what. But, well, at least the b3 pawn, black could take it, then the b4 pawn as well. Or maybe not, maybe there is a penal on the a file. Anyway, let me just take with the knight back, knight takes d4. Yeah, this way I have everything protected and black has nothing to do except for sacrifice some pieces, but it's just for nothing. So now if I take the knight, she takes the c4 pawn, I don't want that, so just knight takes b3. Okay, well, at some point I have to get my queen to this long diagonal because it's just a killing blow for black. I mean, yeah, I understand black will play f6, but it's kind of a weakness, so it's also a good achievement. Right now, both of our knights are hanging, and where is the second black's knight? Is it the one on b4 and then the rook on a8 is protected, or is the knight still on b8 and somehow lost the track? Yeah, knight went to c6, right? I'm a fool. So the rook is protected, so if I take her knight, she takes mine. But exchanging the pieces is great for me. I'm a bishop up, so a takes b. Right, so, well, I can just exchange the rooks. Rook takes a8. And now I can just put my second rook to a1 because it's an open file and the rooks love open files, so rook a1. Right, and now finally it's time to put my queen where it belongs, to the long diagonal, and at the same time I want to attack the b3 pawn, so queen to c3. Knight f6, yeah, the knight is finally coming back to game, but it's kind of too late. So queen takes b3, b5. Okay, so Andrea is going for some counterattack, and, well, I have the move c5. Yeah, let's just go c5. Right, my pawn on d5 should be protected twice, so b takes c5. I'm opening up the position. It's great for me because I have 2 bishops and my opponent has no bishop, so opening up the position is favoring white here. e6, well, that's weakening the long diagonal even more, which is gonna be devastating for black. So I guess just queen to c3 back. Yeah, that's the only way to save the knight. The knight could have moved because queen to h8 checkmate. And now the knight is pinned, which is also very bad. I'm wondering if I have rook a8 sacrifice. If queen takes, I have queen takes f6, king h6, queen h4 checkmate, or king g8, queen g7 checkmate. And if queen goes to e7, I have d6, and then the queen has no moves to secure as a knight. So let's go, rook a8. Okay, queen takes f6, check, and if I'm not blundering anything, it's gonna be a checkmate in one. Okay, queen to g7, checkmate. Wow, perfect. Well, that was a great game. We have just crushed our opponent here. Hit the like button if you enjoyed this one. I mean, that was fun for me. Let me know in the comments what you think about this type of videos, because, of course, always I'm trying to provide as much value for you as possible, but this time I wanted to create some entertainment for you guys. So let me know if you like it.